And then when it comes to your clients, what's the most common, struggle that you've seen in them, that they're usually going through?
Mm. Yeah, it's probably it's kind of a mix of two that I'm thinking about, but one of them is uh, I'm in this career and I've put so many years towards it, right? I've put in the investment in school, I've put in the time to grow in this, and now I feel like I've wasted all this time if I decide to pivot,
Mm,
if I decide to do something else. So it's kind of like that sunk cost fallacy that you've probably heard of. um,
mm,
where it's like, well, all of that experience actually got you to where you are now, and without it you wouldn't even be here questioning, whether that fulfills you or not, or whether you want to add something else or not. So that's one of the first kind of struggles that I see a lot, is like, how am I supposed to move forward, feeling like I just wasted all this time on this other thing. And then I guess another one that kind of comes to mind is, um, when they actually think of that next idea that they want to do, like, how do I figure out time management around that and actually make it happen? So if I'm working a full-time role, well, how am I building this additional side income, whether it's a side hustle or a side business? How am I doing that alongside this job? So that can be also another big struggle that can, kind of make people feel stuck and then not take the next steps. But yeah, those would be probably the most common ones.
definitely. Yeah, I think, I feel like that's like the most common struggle, like even I've seen in my own personal life as well, where you see that all this time, as you said, or education that you've got, you see it as like going to waste if you kind of want to change careers. But as you said, that's not true. So it's all about perception as well. So yeah, yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah, I
Okay.
think that
And
mindset shift, I was just gonna say last thing, that mindset shift is like a huge piece to work on, like especially in something like coaching or even self-coaching yourself, is like overcoming that, because unless you overcome that, it will be very hard for you to move forward feeling that level of guilt that you spent all that time and that it's gone to waste. So you really have to like try to reframe it before you can move forward. That's usually the first area that I spend with clients that work one-on-one. It's like, it can take a couple sessions sometimes, but like we gotta kind of get past that to get to the next stage. Yeah,
That's true. I mean, mindset is the most important one, because
absolutely.
unless and until you have the right mindset, you're not gonna go through all the way with, if you're committing to like a career transition or something else. So yeah, that's a really important piece. Um, and then that's really interesting that you have a finance background as well. So um, how does that play into your coaching? How do you think that affects how you approach your clients, or talking to them about solutions? Yeah, if you can talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the finance background in general, it being a field where you need a very analytical mind, um, I think that's really helped me in my coaching, because I find, like, even when I'm running through a session, I'm very good at like tying it through till the end and having that integration piece. And I really think that comes from, even the like audit days of doing things thoroughly, or just, working in fintechs, right? Like any area of finance, you do need that analytical part and like curiosity and really asking why on a lot of things. So I think it's helped me with that. It's also helped me have this kind of like, I'm trying to think of the exact word here, sort of like a credential behind what I'm doing. So like, I have worked in corporate all those years. I can relate very much with clients when they are going through these types of transitions, because I've been through them myself. So I think that's also the biggest way where it makes me very relatable, or makes me able to relate with clients as well. So yeah, those would probably be the top ways that finance kind of background helps with that.
Mm,
I see more and more parallels, actually, like, as I as I continue to do the work, even just like, having gone to school all those years, like the discipline that it takes to study and to go through all of that, like you need that as a foundation if you're starting a business or if you're pivoting into another career, and it makes it so much easier the second time around than the first time you were doing it. So